Okay, welcome back. We're on page 53 talking about how to set the baseline. And I'm going to repeat myself. If you can't find something because the book says it's in one place and it's not, and I can't figure out where the heck it is, just go here and type set baseline. And it'll actually allow you to just go to, just boom, okay, I've got to the same menu I did before. So I know where they are, but you don't necessarily have to go in and do it that way. Okay, cool. All right, so now that I've got my baseline done, once again, this is the critical thing for you to understand, so one more time. In order for me to track progress, I have to have two sets of data. I have to have the planned amount of effort and the actual amount of effort. I can't just have one, I need to have two. This is how it's done. Baseline sets the thing. Now, occasionally you might want to have to go whack the baseline and change some things, but nevertheless, I mean, you could go in here and say, look, start over, dude. I mean, we are so screwed. I want to clear the baseline and just, start over. What the heck? By the way, there's some cool things. If you have all the cost data in, duration data, you can actually hit this little button here. It'll tell you exactly how much your project's going to cost. That's pretty cool. Okay. So back to the part now. These tracking buttons are now kind of active. You could do them before. One of the cool things. Now this is kind of weird. You see how you hover over a thing, you get a force. I can like stretch this guy because there was some sort of a delay, right? Okay, I can do that. But when I'll admit this takes a little bit of dexterity. If you get inside this task, you can grab just the completion bar. Okay, cool, and scoot it over. Okay. On page 56, they talked about earned value management. I'm going to skip that section. And on page 57, they talk about integrating with Office. There are some really cool things you can do where you can copy the stuff back and forth between Microsoft Excel. And they have a really cool thing talking about how you can have an entire project and have it show up inside a PowerPoint presentation. Because quite frankly, managers are not going to have Microsoft Project. Well, you managers, I'm talking about bigwigs. You are going to have Microsoft Project installed for sure. But bigwigs in the company are probably not going to have Microsoft Project installed on their computer. So you can't just say, oh, go out to the Microsoft Share and double click on the Microsoft Project file. Nah, that's not the way bigwigs work. But you can give them a PowerPoint presentation saying, okay, here's where we are. Okay, so there's the cool technique in here. And go through it, it's not bad. On page 57, starting on page 57, it talks about how to integrate with other Office thing to include making PowerPoint slides. Okay, so we've reached the end. So, first of all, don't panic. When we come to this point where I'm going to ask you to do one of these things, it's going to be kind of sort of simple. It's going to be kind of cookbook. The only way to really get good at Microsoft Project is just to use it. Okay, I have a confession. I don't particularly like Microsoft Project. I find it much more difficult to learn as compared to Excel or Word or PowerPoint or Access. The only real way to get good at this is through repetition. You're going to have to just use it over and over and over to get good at it. If you get completely stuck, you might consider a supplemental book like this. I like the Dummies series of the books, just because they kind of cut to the chase. So having said all that, don't panic. I think you're going to be able to do this. If not, then you can go for some supplemental material. Okay, that's it for this chapter. And I'll see you guys again in the next chapter.